Hello, everyone. So I'm Sabrina Budesta. I'm Ad Data Privacy Lead at Google, and I'm really happy to join today from our Paris office to share with you some of our ad product and privacy preserving roadmap. So right now, we are in a momentum of transition for the ad industry, and this requires everyone into this ad ecosystem to evolve, and I mean by that, publisher, advertiser, and ad tech provider. And today, I'd like to give you an overview of the changes we're facing as an ad ecosystem, their impact, and how at Google we are approaching those changes and the solution we are also looking in order to transition to the new era. So we'll do that in three main steps. So I'll share with you our approach to privacy-safe advertising. Then I'll share with you when the Privacy Sandbox technology will be ready to use. And finally, I'd like to share with you what you can expect from Google Ads when it comes to testing the Privacy Sandbox technology. So let's start by the changes. Regarding the changes, we know that the landscape in the digital ad ecosystem is really experiencing right now a paradigm shift. And we have three main drivers for that. The first one is the user. So right now, we are facing a growing user concern when it comes to their privacy. They are really wondering how their data are being used and how they are being collected. And we see that there is some kind of distrust when it comes to the digital ecosystem regarding their privacy. So in terms of this rising consumer expectation and user concern, we are seeing right now technology changes, but also regulatory changes. If we go to the regulatory changes, we know them really well in Europe because we had the GDPR, but this regulatory trend is expanding across the world right now. We can just mention the CCPA in California, but also the LGPD in Brazil, and there are many other laws that are coming on the privacy landscape. I can mention Japan or India that will be coming really soon. As if those regulatory changes are different from one country to the other, we see a common trend, which is based on control and consent for the user when it comes to use their data. And the second trend that we can note also is related to the ad ecosystem. We see that these regulations are implementing specific restrictions to the ad ecosystem when it comes to use the data of the user to do ads. So there are a focus on the ad ecosystem. The second change, which is also important, is the platform changes, meaning the technology changes. Right now, we know that some browsers like Firefox or Safari are already right now blocking third-party cookies. So it's not something which is new. There are already some environments where the third-party cookies are blocked by default. And there are already some impacts on ad measurement, but also ad targeting in those environments where third-party cookies are already phased out. When we spoke about third-party cookies, we need also to look at identifier like the application identifier. For example, the IDFA on Apple, where right now we see also some restriction coming with iOS 14 that are limiting the way you can use the identifier on the app environment. And this clearly impacts the way we can operate from an ad ecosystem standpoint. It's clearly impacting the way we are operating because you all know that cookie and app identifier are the basic technology right now to deliver an ad, but also to monitor the performance. So clearly, all the changes we are seeing from a regulatory or technology standpoint, along with the user concern, are directly impacting the use of those technologies that are necessary to run advertising, and therefore they are directly impacting how we do collect data, how we do measure data, and how we do activate data. So the impact is across the ad channel. So that being said, I wanted to share with you our approach. So our approach is that we think that these changes are an opportunity. I know it's simple to say that, but this is the way we are really seeing that because we think that privacy and performance are not in contradiction. So we are implementing in our strategy 3 main pillars. The first one. Okay. So sorry, we've been cutted. That's the digital ecosystem. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, so it happens, sorry. I was talking about our approach, and we have 3 pillars in our approach. So the first is to put the user at the core of the strategy. As I mentioned, one of the main areas of concern of the user are really important to take into account. So the idea is to build up user trust, and it means establishing transparency, choice, and control in the way we are going to develop new products. The second pillar is about investing in privacy preserving technology. So we need to build for long term. It's important that when we are going to develop a new technology, we see them with a long-term approach in order to tackle regulatory and technology changes with a privacy lens. So it means that we need to look for years when we build up new technologies. And last but not least, is about the collaboration with the industry. We really think that to build up a new standard and new technology, it's critical to work with all the ecosystem, because privacy needs to be consistent across the ad ecosystem in order to build up this user trust. So that's why we are really taking time in order to work with the industry to agree on standards and solutions together. So now that I have been setting up the pillars, I want to go deeply into the product solution we are looking for to tackle the challenges. So we think that less user data does not mean worse outcome when it comes to results. What we consider is that these changes are only a change when it comes to how we do things. So we are shifting the way we are doing things. And to take a good image, it's like shifting from the diesel to electric car. So they do both the same thing, but the electric car creates a cleaner environment. So this is the mindset we are taking right now to develop a new solution. So there is not one silver bullet solution. So we are looking to 3 main kind of solution for the future, and that they can be activated for some of them now. So the first solution that we are looking is to invest in first-party data solution and infrastructure. The second kind of solution we are looking for is automation, modeling, and machine learning. And finally, the last but not least, the new privacy preserving solution that are developed into the sandbox. So we think that those solutions will be lasting for long term and will persist in a privacy optimized environment. And at the same time, they will be able, the solution, to meet great performance as we are looking for right now from a marketing standpoint. Let me dig a bit into those different solutions. So for the first-party data solution, clearly, with third-party solution, with third-party cookie going away, it's super important to reinforce relation with first-party because it's good for a privacy standpoint. It's clear that when you engage directly with the user, you build trust. So you ensure that transparency and control is provided to your user. And it's also good from a business standpoint because we see that the performance based on investing on first-party data is great. It's great because from a revenue standpoint, you can improve your revenue feedback. And the second point is that we also see a good return on investment. And that totally makes sense because when you invest in first-party data relationship, you know better your customer, so you can also better create a customer experience that is precise for the user. And at Google, we are right now investing in first-party data solution and infrastructure to help our customers to collect the data, to optimize those data, but also to activate them. So that's really an important strategy, and we are investing a solution to help our clients on that. The second part of the strategy that you can see on the side is about automation, modeling, and machine learning. So we are seeing that we are going to have less data, so it means that we need to do more with less data. And we are shifting from a precision era, where you had access to granular and specific data, to a prediction era, meaning that you will need to optimize what you can get from the data you have. And right now,
sorry for the technical interruption. We are trying to reconnect with Sabrina. So give us just a moment. We will get back soon.
okay. Okay, so sorry for cutting. So I hope you heard like the part on the first party data. So now I wanted to give you a bit of highlight on the second path we are looking for, which is automation and modeling. I was saying that we are going from a precision era where you track the user from a granular standpoint to a prediction era where we are going to optimize the observable data with machine learning and modeling. Those solutions are not new. We are already using machine learning modeling in environments without cookies. So we know that with machine learning, you can optimize the conversion, you can manage the frequency capping, but you can also model with audience extension the way you activate your campaign. So we know that automation and modeling is going to be a solution for the future in order to improve and boost your campaign. And at Google, we are investing clearly on those solutions. So the third bucket, which is also one of the buckets, because as you can see, the Privacy Sandbox API are one of the solutions that we'll be implementing in the future. So just as a reminder, the Privacy Sandbox is a set of propositions that has been set by Chrome team in order to satisfy some specific use case that you can see on this slide. So measurement, ad selection with retargeting and targeting, fraud detection, and of course conversion. And the idea is to replace the mechanism that are tracking users across the web, like third-party cookie, with new solutions in order to improve user privacy. So the main objective is to focus on phasing out third-party cookies, but first-party cookies will remain. So that's why it's not really accurate when we say that it's a cookieless world, because first-party cookie will remain. We are looking mainly on technologies that are tracking users across the web. And if I want you to remind three things about the Privacy Sandbox, here are the three things I want you to remind. So the first one is that the initiative of the Privacy Sandbox is open, transparent, and collaborative, because right now these solutions are being built up in an open forum. This forum is called the W3C, and it means that everyone into the ecosystem can participate to the discussion and add solutions. So there is no Chrome dedicated solution. This is really an open forum. And the API that will be created into the Privacy Sandbox will be open source solution that will be open for everyone. The second point that I want you to also keep in mind when it comes to the Privacy Sandbox is that right now, the third-party cookie is one technology that allows you to do everything. So it's not possible to limit the use of the cookie. The cookie can be used for targeting, retargeting, measurement, or fraud detection. So you have no way to limit the purpose. While with the Privacy Sandbox solution, you will have one solution for one purpose. So as you can see on the slide, you will have one solution for interest-based targeting, which is Flock, one solution for remarketing, which is Fledge, and so on. So one solution, one purpose, which is also a way to control what is happening. And then the third point that you need to remind about the sandbox is that the solutions that are being built up are based on a privacy-preserving technology. So it means that those API will be based on aggregation, anonymization, and on-device tracking. So on-device processing, sorry. So it means that the main objective is to stop tracking user from an individual basic and keep the data of the user on their browser and only share aggregated data to everyone. So it means that we keep the data of the user into their browser and we try to operate based on aggregated information to avoid spreading granular information of the user. So that being said about reminding everyone what is the sandbox, I want to say that the Privacy Sandbox is led by the Chrome team, and me, I'm representing today the ad team. And what is important for you to know is the ad team right now is committed to the sandbox. So it means that we'll be implementing the API into our ad products. But like the third-party cookies, the Privacy Sandbox API will be one of the signals that we'll be using, but not the only one. So as you can see on this slide, we'll have the API of the sandbox, but also automation, first-party data, and
Sorry for interruption once more, but as we all know, the digital conferences are a little bit demanding when it comes to the management, and also we've seen it many times before that someone disconnected from our digital meeting. So we'll be right back. Please bear with us.
So I hope that it was So I hope that it was clear, and I'm sorry again. I think it's cutted again. So on the Privacy Sandbox, it was important for us from an ad standpoint to clarify that the API will be one of the solution we'll be using, yet that we believe that those API are really part of the future because they are ensuring the privacy of the user while providing some great performance that we can already see based on some early testing that has been shared by Chrome, but also by ads when testing some Flock API. So now let's get to a question that is a question that comes pretty often from the market about when the Privacy Sandbox technology will be ready. Here we wanted to give you a brief update about that because the timeline has been updated by Chrome. So in June, Chrome has been saying that they will postpone the phase out of the third-party cookies to 2023. And Chrome provided also a clear steps when it comes to how the Privacy Sandbox solution will evolve until the end of 2023. So as you can see on this slide, there will be mainly three steps. So the first one is that by the end of this year, there will be the API that will be ready for testing. Please note that the testing will be mainly open for ad tech providers to integrate and test this solution in their services and products. So that's the first step. The step two is about the integration period that will start at the end of 2022. So meaning that the ad tech provider and any operator into the ecosystem will start integrating the solution into their product and services. And finally, the third step, which will start mid-2023, because Chrome will start phasing out third-party cookies progressively. So it will take 6 months between mid-2023 till the end of 2023. So this timeline is public, and it's updated monthly by Chrome in order to inform the market about where we stand in the evolution. So that's really important. I'll share with you a privacy.com website where you can find all this information. I'm just sharing with you public information. We have no more information on the Sandbox from the ad stack. So let's get now on how the ad stack of Google will be testing and implementing the Sandbox, because a lot of advertisers and publishers and our partners are asking us about when and how we are going to test the solution. What is important to note is that at Google, from an ad standpoint, we will be like the other ad tech provider. We'll be testing the solution in our service and product. And this will be done based on the timeline provided by Chrome team. So meaning when the API will be ready for testing, we'll participate to the testing. So as you can see into this slide, you can expect that Google Ads team will start testing by the end of the year, and during 2022, we'll test the solution in our services. So that's about the timeline. And regarding how we are going to test, we have pretty often the question about that. So I want to set the expectation that actually the tests are going to be small, and they may remain small. They will be closed and limited, and they will be also optional. So it means that not everyone will be testing the API into the ads product. There will be some limitation. And the other point also that is important to note is that also it's possible that some API will be integrated in our ads product without any testing for our advertiser and partner, because the API will be integrated directly in the back end of our product. So that's an important point to share with you, because we have a lot of questions around that, and we want to be transparent about how the process of testing will be done. Of course, we will update the market from an ad standpoint about where we stand on the testing, and if the testing are open to everyone or just to some specific partners. So that was for the Privacy Sandbox and for the overview of how the ad team is participating to this initiative. It's important to remind, as I mentioned just before, that the API of the Sandbox will be one of the signals, but not the only one, because we are also implementing. Do you want? Okay, I'm going to conclude then. So we had like a break on each section. So just to conclude, because I have been speaking a lot about solution and also the approach, there are a lot of things that we don't know. I think that's part of high-tech world, but there are things that we know. So in terms of preparation, I think there are what we call 3 pillars for the privacy readiness. So the first one, it's easy. It's not really the good word, but it's like obvious. You need to prepare, and when we need to prepare, it means that you need to build up user trust, comply with the regulation, and this means invest in a privacy durable solution and foundation to tackle user expectation and regulatory challenges. So investing in a good foundation is really important. The second step is to adapt. I have mentioned that also before, is that we are going from a precision era to a prediction era. So you need to adapt to this modeling and machine learning new solution in order to be ready and to start doing it actually, because the evolution are ongoing. And the last section of the pillar is clearly to evolve, and evolving means participating to the conversation of the ecosystem to build up the future, because you need to be on the table. And to conclude with what you can do today, there are clearly three main areas to invest and to activate, because there are solutions already that are available for you. It's to collect first-party data, to measure and maintain how you measure accurately your campaign, and finally, how you can activate with automation your campaign. At Google, we have already solutions available to start today preparing for the future, and also tackle the challenges we are already facing with less observable data. So I would like to thank you today for your time. I hope it was clear, as if we had some questions during our presentation. I'm going to share after the event some resources for you that are going to summarize what I have been presenting to you. The Privacy Safe Grow, which is a white paper about key actions that you can do to prepare and to deliver effectively marketing in this time of transition. And the second link that I will be sharing with you is the privacysandbox.com, where there are all the updates about the timeline, but also some explanation about the different APIs. So I want to thank you, and do not hesitate if you have any further question after the event to reach out. We will be happy to answer.